Hello guys and welcome uh, to the next tutorial on the full stack web development course from zero to hero. So today we are going to be talking about the HTML container. So when we say containers, we have some tags that they serve as a container or parent to other tags. So now among the ones we are going to be talking about, we are going to be talking about the nav container. So we are going to be talking about this nav container. So this one is a container specifically used at the top of your web page. So anytime you visit a website and you see link at the top, probably I have let me say orange tech guy. Yeah. So if you go to this website, this is my old portfolio. So if you come to this website, you will see that we have this thing at the top here. So this is the nav. So this is the nav bar of my website. So you can scroll and see some other information, but this one is fixed at the top. So now this is what we call nav bar. And anytime you want to do something like this on your website, you are going to be using the nav to perform that operation. So they take in this nav container takes in other containers also. It takes the UL, it takes the OL, it takes some other tags like that serve as a parent. It takes in the form if you want to use the form inside it. It takes in some other tags inside them and div. So which we are going to be talking about also. So this one we are going to be using it a lot of the time when we go for that. But now before I move into this, so let me talk more on the nav. So anytime you are dealing with the top part of your website or your web page, you want to use this nav of it in this nav bar. So that is what you are going to be using to do that a lot of the time. So please take note of that. You don't go to the middle of your web page and start defining nav. So please, that is not advisable and it is not a good practice to do that. So take note of that and always know that this one is what you are going to be using at the top of your web page to define your nav or navigation bar. So now that is that about this. I'm not going to use it for now. You can put H1 inside it, any of your tag and say hello world. So you can put that and if you save and check this, it doesn't change anything. It just stay at the top here. So whatever you want to put as a link and you can just come down here and say UL or yeah, you just have let's say the UL and I want to have the list of what's it called list of links. So one of the files, let's say on page, I'm going to be having what is again about us. Let's say about. So let me say about us. We are going to be having blog, for example, and contact us. So you can have contact us as usual also. So I can just click here and say that contact us. So say contact then us. So if you save now, you are going to see that everything are inside that container. So if you want to know that they are inside the container, you can just come in here and give a style. So we are going to talk about this when we get to CSS, and this is an example of what we call the inline CSS. So don't worry about that. So I'm going to give a background just for you to know. So I'm going to give a background of red. So if I give a background of red now and say, you will see that, oh, the hello world and this one are inside our what? They are inside our nav. So that is how you can use them. So when we get to CSS, we are going to learn on how we can place them beside each other and make it a nav, a good looking nav. So like this my own here, or I have another website, movie show. So I have a lot of website that I hosted for free. So we are going to be hosting those one also for free when we get to where we are going to be hosted. So these are another website that I also made. I use React to do all of this. So which is the framework. It's also HTML and CSS. That is what I use in most of those parts. So you can see we have all this side also, which I did on the website. So you can see this nav bar. So how you can make a lovely nav bar like this, we are going to be doing that. So don't worry. Let's continue on what we are talking about now. So that is that about that, and this is how you can use nav. So it's a container also. So they take in other tags as their own children. So and the nav I told you, whenever you want to use it, you definitely want to use it at the top of your web page. So we have another one which is also specifically at the foot at the bottom of your web page, which is called footer. So this is where you display everything at the foot at the bottom of your page. So online something like this, so something like this here. So if you scroll down, you will see that I have a lot of these here. So you can use footer to achieve that. So don't want to go at the top and start using the footer, or at the middle of your web page and start using the footer as something like this. And you can pass any HTML tag inside it, and it's going to serve as the container or the parent for that particular tag. So don't worry, we are going to talk more on this when we get to web development, doing the practical aspect of it. So now we have another one which is called section. Yeah, the section of 18, we can use it anywhere inside our web page. So we can just type section. So this section is also a container. You can use it at the beginning, at the end, or at the middle of your web page. You can use it at anywhere, but I usually use it to define each section of my page or of the web page. So let's say I'm designing the hero section, which is this particular part, which is this particular part. So this particular part, I have to put everything inside the section. The nav also put it inside the section, and this particular part also inside a different section. This particular part inside different section. This particular part inside another section. So that is how I use my section as a container to define my screen. So I use that a lot, and inside it I pass a lot of div, and we can move on. So this aside and article. So if you want to use this aside an article, they are also a container that you use in dividing your screen. So let's say whereby you have let me go to my playlist. So in this situation, you can see I have two sides here. I have this side and I have this side. So this side you can use the aside and the article side. So this aside, the aside is this particular side, and the article is this container right here. So you can use aside to divide your screen, the aside and uh, uh, the aside and the article to display all these things like this. So this aside in the article, they are also a container that you can use like that. Then we have this div. So this div here, we have this div. So this div can do the work of all of this. It's so much what's it called? Give us a lot of flavors to work to group all the part of our code together, HTML tags together, and perform a certain function on them or certain styling on them. So we can just say div. So the div can live inside the section can live inside the div, but you are going to be seeing a lot of these div you are going to be seeing a lot of this div most of the time, because we are going to be working with div, and you hardly do something on the web page without using this div. So we are going to be working with this div, and all I've mentioned serve as a container. But this nav and the footer, they are both used in a specific way. We use this one at the top of our web page, and we use this one at the bottom of our web page. They are also containers that take in all other children also as their own child. But yeah, to use them, you have to specifically put this one at the bottom, and this one at the top of your web page. And now we have some other ones which I've talked about in the past. We have the UL and the OL. We have the UL. So this UL that we talk about is being used whenever you use this, is also a container, but it has its own children or child. So it has its own children. His own children is li. So you can have a lot of li, you can have a lot of other tags inside them also, but you must provide its own children first. So if you don't provide its own children, it's not going to work properly the way you want it to work. So we have the OL also again. The when you want to use the OL, is also a container which takes its own children and not any other children before that. So the same thing with form. So we have form. Form also has its own children. It's also a container. It has its own children, and its own children are the inputs. So this input, we have a lot of inputs, which I'm very sure if you look back at what we've discussed in the past, you will know that we've discussed about this form input. So its own children are the input. So this input are children to the form, which anytime you want to use the form, you want to provide its own children also, and provide some other children or other tag as its children also. But it's as you have to pass its own children also. They must come, the form must come with its own children also, which is the input. So that is that about the container. So see you soon in the next tutorial. Thank you.